I got to tell you,
Yeah.
man, you look great, man. You really do. You look
Oh,
great.
thanks, man.
How you feeling? You feeling good too?
Yeah, I feel good. I think there's probably a little bit of cross addiction with like drinking too much coffee or stuff like that. It's like you kind of I was so used to just drinking beer and wine all the time
Yeah.
that it just got to a point where I'm trying to figure out life without going to a bar. Usually by 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock right now, I'd definitely be 3 or 4 beers deep. Having a good time at a bar somewhere. I really enjoyed that. So just trying to figure out life, trying to find fun things to do sober. That's the hardest part.
Yeah. And trying, like,
So
I know from reading and researching you a little bit, like, part of that coping mechanism was to kind of turn your thoughts off, just because your brain is so active all the time. So uh,
yeah,
I realize, I imagine there's probably a pretty tough balancing act there because I'm sure the addictions, well, no matter what they are, whether they're alcohol or drugs or food or coffee, whatever they are, that's there to help you kind of turn your brain off. But at the same time, with alcohol and drugs, it turns off the feeling process too, which is really important in music and creativity, I imagine.
yeah. I always wrote sober, so I didn't have trouble with that.
Okay.
I liked writing with a caffeine buzz, so I'd wake up in the morning. But when I was drinking, I didn't write because of that reason. I didn't like writing, with a buzz. And it is, man. My brain is just so fast. It just runs, man. And so for me, uh, I'm battling it right now a little bit. Like, I'm fine during the day. In the mornings, I get up super early, start drinking coffee. By 2 o'clock, have my cigar, and then I'm like, okay, I'm still working. I'm still hustling. I'm still like writing. I'm still doing all my stuff that I do that's fun and art. And then I want my brain to shut off. And now it's kind of not having my red wine or beer. I'm like, dang, how do I shut it off? And so I'm trying to find ways of meditation and exercise to do that. So I'm new at being sober. I've always thought I could do the rest of my life with caffeine and red wine. That was my balance. They call it the Nashville Speedball.
Yeah.
But it's I'm trying to find a way just at nighttime to be able to shut the brain off.
You
You
mentioned
know?
meditation. Have you thought about yoga? I know it might sound funny, but have you tried
Yeah.
yoga?
No, I've done it a couple times. I'm real claustrophobic, so I'm trying to get over that as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm stuck in that room with a bunch of like middle-aged moms. I'm just like, am I the weird guy? What am I doing in here? I started to panic a little bit.
So, man, I
So
just find pretty areas. I'll go to the lake or out on a dock or a garden or something like that and just throw down a yoga pad and I'll do my yoga out there. And, um,
yeah,
I never do it inside ever. Like, it's never an inside thing for me, it's always outdoors. So,
I
um,
should. That's a good point. I should
yeah.
find an outdoor yoga because I don't. Most of them are like in classes and stuff,
Yeah, I
like in
usually just go
buildings.
wherever I want to go, and like a YouTube University, somebody that's doing a yoga thing, and I'll just follow whatever they're doing on the YouTube,
Yeah,
and away I go. It sounds funny, but it really does. It's the first time I'm mentioning this on the show, so this will be breaking news for people out there that may not know that Boston Chris does yoga. Crazy, I know. But yeah, I
that's how.
wanted to I wanted to mention that for you because it does help with slowing down the brain. I have the same issue as you, like just
Yeah,
always going, and then for me, I really struggle getting to sleep because that's when it hits
yeah.
me the most. Is when I lay down to sleep and everything's quiet. So for me, like I have to have noise, like really heavy noise in my ears to kind of shut my brain down and just to be able to sleep. It's crazy.
That's a good point. I'm trying to sleep without the TV on. I'm really trying to go to sleep just reading a book, and that's been really hard. And I've always had trouble sleeping, and that was one reason why I used alcohol too.
Hmm.
Was I just drank enough until I got super tired, you
Hmm.
know. So
Yeah.
I used it for everything, man. That's why. And I'm not one of those guys that's going to be like, oh, I'm sober forever. I think I will be because I can't imagine going back to that. But man, it really, when people are like, does it work? It does work.
Yeah.
Drink 12 beers, it'll put you to sleep.
Hmm.
But then the next day, I'm having so much severe anxiety attacks that it's just not worth it. So right now, I'm trying to find maybe some chamomile tea. I'm 41. That sounds so lame right now,
It
but I'm just trying
doesn't.
to find
Not at
teas
all,
and
man.
meditation and things to help just be a normal person, man. That's the
Yeah, we
hardest
got to
part.
find what works for us, individually. And I don't
Yeah.
think any of that sounds crazy, man. You got to do what's best for you. And so, what ultimately led you to actually go to seek help? Was it mostly the anxiety?
Mostly anxiety. I couldn't stop, and I didn't want to. I was getting, especially every now and then being on TV and shows, and the way my clothes fit and my brain. I just alcohol wasn't working anymore. It was the medicine that I used forever, and I loved it. So I had to go in. I had to get sober. My body wasn't going to be able to do it. I could have gone another 10 years, but I would have just been a sweaty, gross mess, and I just wouldn't have been a good person to be around. And I just knew that there was time to do it. It was something where I was like, my medicine's not working anymore. And it sucks that I had to use that because I would still like to go out and join my buddies for beers and have red wine with my cheese and stuff like that. But it doesn't work anymore. It makes it worse the next day. It's just such a band aid. So I just woke up one day after 7 days of drinking wine, about to go on tour, then realizing, well, I can't do radio. I can't do some podcast. I'm gonna be sweaty. I'm gonna be jittery. I'm gonna be doing the podcast drunk, which I've been doing the last like 2 years. And you let things slip when you're kind of buzzed. You're not the best person. I think that I'm really sarcastic, and so it was just time for Rich 2.0 to be born.